Y'all, I swear, this Squid Game show just keeps on getting more and more intense as these episodes progress. It seems like everyone thought they knew the game that they were playing just because they watched the TV series, but the production team has managed to throw in these great twists in the game while still implementing social strategy in a way that nobody saw coming. So today, we're going to be breaking down some of the best moments from episode 2 and 3 and highlighting both the good and bad gameplay. Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button below just so you can stay tuned for more recaps. Now, let's begin. So we open up this episode with the cookie challenge, where we see we have the next 4 victims stepping up ready to select their shape. This lineup already includes our resident villain Bryton, but we are also introduced to a new character here, Spencer. Now, Spencer talks a lot about how he had more of a meek and sheltered upbringing growing up in the Mormon church. And although he's all grown up now, that meekness still has not worn off, and everybody's about to find that out real soon. See, Spencer is scared to make this decision. He is a scaredy cat, and he is letting all that fear just show on his face. He's letting everybody see him sweat, and he's freaking out so much that he's damn near about to cry. And the one thing you do not want to do is cry in front of Bryton. I mean, that man hates weakness.
Hey, please stop crying, bro. Jesus Christ.
I'd really hate to sound like one of those MRAs, but Spencer is really giving beta here, and I don't think it's a good idea to be a beta in the Squid Games. So this group is now going to walk into the playground, and to my surprise, little Spencer was standing his ground just a little bit at first. But it really only took a few seconds for him to start folding like a lawn chair in the most awkward way possible.
I'll pick this frickin' umbrella if you guys promise me, and I know you all see me. This sounds so sexual, everyone's freaking said it to me, but spit on someone else's cookie, please.
That's right. To pretty much no one's surprise, Spencer folds and takes the umbrella, leaving everybody on his team pissed and disappointed, including himself. I mean, just look at that face. Like I said in the last recap, I would have just walked up to the circle and stayed there. Even if somebody tried to come up to you and pressure you to move, do not fold, do not move, just stand your ground. Even though the other 3 shapes were a lot easier to cut out, it still wasn't a walk in the park for everyone. Some people were eliminated on very simple shapes, which does suck, but hey, at least we got some very good reactions out of it.
Player 48 eliminated.
The vibes are very tense throughout this whole competition, but once we get to umbrellas, that's when things start to look very, very bleak. You see, all of the other leaders got cheers and hugs from their team, but Spencer, he was paid dust. Actually, worse than dust. Spencer was paid shit by his team.
Can't even look us in the eyes.
I hear their whispers calling me things.
Idiot.
I do get it though, because Spencer did pretty much doom damn near all of their games from the start. And when it's his turn to get eliminated, of course he goes out with a bang in the most dramatic way possible. Only 7 people with umbrellas made it through, and in total 69 people were eliminated this round, leaving only 119 people left standing. So now that the players have taken the time to get to know each other better, this is where we're going to start to see some of the alliances form. First, we have this large alliance of dudes that's been steady growing in numbers. It seems to be led by Dr. Rick, and can I just say, I love the fact that this man is able to bond and gather a large group of numbers despite the age differences between him and most of the other cast. But with all that being said, as a Big Brother fan, I also don't understand why they have to make their alliances so damn obvious. We're seeing them gathering in large groups and screaming their alliance name multiple times.
Gumbo gang, Gumbo gang.
Woo, I like it, that's pretty freaking cool.
I mean, these guys are not trying to be subtle at all, which may come around to bite them later, I'm just saying. Meanwhile, Bryton is still running around the dorm, making himself a villain and painting a huge target on his back.
You little frog boy, come here. Let me tell you something. Nah, don't run away now. Nah, don't run now. Your little skinny ass. I will snap your ass over my knee. Do it.
This dude makes enemies so easily because he really does ooze douchery, which does suck in real life, but hey, it makes for great TV. One of my favorite parts of this episode was when Leanne tries to break through to Bryton to get his softer side, only to find out that it just doesn't exist. His cocky persona is apparently 1000% who he really is.
The people that don't like me in here have no sense of humor.
It can be interpreted as abrasive.
But you have to realize, if people think that I'm not gonna be myself for a split second.
Is it totally yourself?
1000%.
See, then that's what you are.
As the players start to wind down, the next twist in the game is brought in, which is the telephone. The phone just sits there and tempts the room, but the smart people know not to touch it because they know that doing anything special or extra in this game could easily get them eliminated. But of course, not everybody's going to be able to resist the temptation, so when that phone finally does ring, Hasnan is the one to answer it. He's the one who got into the fight with Bryton earlier after calling him a frat boy. Since he answered the phone, he was rewarded with a treat: burgers and fries. However, as we see, everybody immediately swoops in like vultures and takes damn near all this man's food. Now, that clip of Jada taking the entire burger did go viral and it did create a little bit of controversy, but in Jada's defense, the burger wasn't halal anyway, so he was never gonna eat it. Plus, she apparently shared the burger with other people anyway, so there's that. The phone does ring again later on though, and everyone is completely shook when Hasnan goes up to answer that damn phone again. Only this time, the results aren't as sweet, because if he can't convince somebody to take the phone away from him, then he will be eliminated.
You are now at risk of being eliminated.
As soon as he gets the news, you can see his facial expression completely change, and all that fear and panic just shows on his face, and that is his worst mistake. This is now another game of manipulation, only this man is absolutely abysmal at manipulating. His genius plan is to try to convince people that there's a damn chocolate muffin on the other end of that phone instead of an elimination. Now, we didn't get to see it on the show, but apparently there were multiple phone calls and multiple people answered and multiple people got food as well. So maybe that's why he thought that convincing people that there was food on the line would work. But as we see, it does not work. It was actually an absolute failure, and just like that, Hasnan is eliminated. I absolutely love the bait and switch from production here. I love how they tempted people with food multiple times to get everybody's hopes up just to crush it at the end. I know, it's mean, but like I said, great TV. In my opinion, the best strategy here would have been to convince people that there was money on the line instead of food. I'd say something like, whoever grabs the phone from me will instantly win $50,000, but they would have to immediately be eliminated. That way, you could still kind of easily pass the phone off to someone else and tempt them with the money, but you can still justify not keeping it for yourself because you'd be eliminated. But of course, I want to know, what would y'all do in a scenario like this? Let me know in the comments below. Once all that's over, it's now time to start prepping for the next competition, and since they've all seen the show before, they know that tug of war is coming up next. So naturally, the bigger, buffer guys all want to team up together to give themselves the best odds, which I get, I can't blame them for that. But at the same time, the people who aren't as physically strong are starting to stress and freak out a little bit, which I also get, and I can't blame them for that either. But of course, no one is allowed to stress or cry in the Squid Games without Bryton mocking you for it.
Oh my God, she's out there bawling, crying. For what? Control your emotions. This is not a game of sympathy at all.
Again, you just cannot show a hint of weakness around this man. The teams do eventually get sorted, and as everyone walks into the arena, they are shook to learn that they're actually not going to be playing tug of war at all. They're going to be playing Battleship. Again, props to the production team here for, 1, adding a good twist in the game, and 2, making a comp that's equitable for everyone. I mean, Big Brother could never. A good twist is able to shock everyone, including the audience, without disrupting the core of the game, and I think they accomplished that beautifully here. The first groups go up to compete, and the red team is able to pull out a strong win. They took out a huge chunk of the blue team, including our favorite public enemy, Bryton. It was kind of a lackluster way to lose such a big character, but Bryton walked into this competition so cocky that seeing his downfall here did really make for a great story. We also get introduced to TJ here, who is the charismatic ex-basketball player. He is used to performing under pressure and on camera and in high-stakes situations and all that, so he's chosen to lead his team through this, and I'm not gonna lie, he does an excellent job of it. He's able to secure the win without losing anybody on his team. We do almost lose Leanne and Trey here though, but it was terrible strategy for them to be in the same boat together anyway. We also get introduced to B here, who is a gamer and a certified genius. I really like B, you know, I like gamer girls, I like smart girls, and she came in with a plan and strategy and she was able to execute it beautifully. Just like TJ, she was also able to lead her team to victory without losing a single soul. After it was all said and done, only 73 people remained standing after Battleship. So of course I want to know, who are some of your favorite contestants so far? Let me know in the comments below. I do really like B and Leanne, but some of my other faves haven't been introduced quite yet. Make sure you're subscribed so you can stay tuned as I cover the rest of the series. But until next time,